How can I give my wife emergency access to logins, passwords, etc.? I'm the digital guru in my household. My wife is good with email and forum websites, but she trusts me with all our important digital stuff, online banking and other things that require passwords, also family photos and the plethora of other digital things in a modern home. We discuss relevant actions, but it's always me that executes them. If I were suddenly incapacitated, then my wife would be thoroughly stranded. She would have no idea what digital stuff is where on our computer, how to access it, what online accounts we have, and what their login credentials are. It would also leave my many public appearances, personal websites, email accounts, social networks, etc., unresolved. To complicate things, I'm one of those people who don't use the same password everywhere. I use a mix of SuperGenPass and LastPass, and also two-factor authentication whenever possible. I don't have much hope that she would find her way through a written explanation of all that in a stressful situation. I could just tell her that she should ask my tech-savvy twin brother and then entrust him with my LastPass master passphrase. I feel that would have a good chance of success, but it's inelegant and leaves my wife without control of the information. How can I ensure that my wife has access to my digital remains? Update. A tremendous thank you for all the great contributions. I've learned a lot. Now I just need to decide. Smile.
We have actually covered this in some detail already on Security Say. Storing account credentials for spouse/loved one? How to prepare for protecting identity after death? How to secure identity after someone dies? Is there a digital safety deposit box equivalent? These posts go into detail about what you can and can't share. There may be some legal/contractual ramifications if you share logins for banking, etc. So there are some simple technical solutions, KeePass/Dropbox, etc., and some procedural ones, password for your master password file stored in an envelope with a solicitor or notary. This may sound harsh, but while you may trust your brother, it is often best to avoid placing them in a position where they have the opportunity to do something malicious, as his circumstances may change in such a way that forces him to. As an example, gets accidentally in debt to someone with organized crime links, who blackmails him into payment on threat of injury to family. Much better to trust a lawyer, who has a professional and ethical code of conduct which will, hopefully, act as an additional barrier to misconduct.
There are a number of suggestions provided in Jeff Moser's post related to this. A proposed solution. Let's borrow an ancient yet incredibly useful idea. If it's really important to get your facts right about something, be sure to have at least 2 or 3 witnesses. This is especially true concerning matters of life and death, but it also comes up when protecting really valuable things. By the 20th century, this 2-man rule was implemented in hardware to protect nuclear missiles from being launched by a lone rogue person without proper authorization. The main vault at Fort Knox is locked by multiple combinations, such that no single person is entrusted with all of them. On the Internet, the master key for protecting the new secure domain name system, DNSSEC, is split between among 7 people from 6 different countries, such that at least 5 people are needed to reconstruct it in the event of an internet catastrophe. If this idea is good enough for protecting nuclear weapons, the Fort Knox vault, and one of the most critical security aspects on the Internet, it's probably good enough for your password list. Besides, it can make a somewhat uncomfortable process a little more fun. Let's start with a simple example. Let's say that your master password is 1.big.boom@thunder.mil. You could just write it out on a piece of paper and then use scissors to cut it up. This would work if you wanted to split it among 2 people, but it has some notable downsides. It doesn't work if you want redundancy, i.e. any 2 of 3 people being able to reconstruct it. Each piece would tell you something about the password and thus has value on its own. Ideally, we'd like the pieces to be worthless unless a threshold of people came together. It doesn't really work for more complicated scenarios like requiring 5 of 7 people. Fortunately, some clever math can fix these issues and give you this ability for free. I created a program called Secret Splitter to automate all of this to hopefully make the whole process painless. Here's the link to the Secret Splitter software he created. You might also be interested in the Dead Man's Switch website. You never know when you might be hit by a bus. Are you prepared for it? Maybe you want to pass on important information, notify some online acquaintances or apologize to an old friend. Enter deadmanswitch.org. The service is simple. Type an email and optionally attach a few files. Every few days we will send you an email with a link that verifies you are still alive. If something does happen, we will send your emails 30 days after we last heard from you. Is 30 days too long? No problem, someone close to you can use an emergency release code to dispatch the emails early. Your emails and files are encrypted on the server using ICE 256 encryption to help protect your data.
The most straightforward way. Export all URLs with the corresponding passwords, together with a short manual where applicable, to print them out and pass to your wife. If what you said, adopting your ways of digital security not being an option, I can't see any other, more practical way of handing that stuff over. Either put the printouts in a safe, or integrate them in your will. Obviously, putting those virtual things on paper presents you with a huge security risk. Edit, updated my answer for future references. As suggested in the comments, there is a possibility to bypass the security risk mentioned above, by using LastPass's one-time password, OP, service. This way, you only have to keep a single-use master password on file.
Use KeePass and store all your passwords in a KeePass file, encrypting it with a master password. KeePass encrypts the contents of the file with the master password you use. If you need file mobility, you can put the KeePass file on Dropbox, or Google Drive, etc., so that way the file is on all the machines you sync up with your favorite web drive tool. Give this password to your wife, and tell her where she can find the KeePass file. Problem solved, hopefully. The really nice thing about KeePass is that it's truly cross-platform, works on Windows, Mac, Linux, iOS and Android. Update: in addition to being a file-based and offline solution to LastPass, KeePass also has a rich set of security and other features listed here. Here are some that stand out to me in relation to this specific question. Strong security, multiple user keys, portable and no installation required, accessibility, export to text, HTML, XML and CSV files, import from many file formats, support of password groups, auto-type, global auto-type hotkey and drag and drop, intuitive and secure clipboard handling. Searching and sorting, open source.